As I expected, the first one didn't work. I had to change my system language again because the stupid chat translation thingy is still there. And I hate that. Oh man. Now let's see if there will be anybody here today. Okay, there's somebody here. All right. Yeah, I had to restart this. Oh crap, there's somebody here. Okay, sorry, I had to mute myself because there's people walking around with random calls on speaker. And I don't want that on my stream. Anyways, I don't know who's here, but welcome. Welcome in. Yeah, so as I was saying, I had to restart the stream because the stupid chat translation thingy that happened on the previous stream as well is still going on. And I had to change my system language to English again. But it now works. Oh, somebody else joined. Hello. How are you guys doing? Yeah, I'm just I'm really bored today. I am extremely bored, in fact. And since I'm done studying, I thought I'd just hang out with you guys for a bit. And holy crap, it's raining outside. I mean, take a look at this. It's raining quite badly. You may not be able to see it, but it's surely raining in there. And it wasn't like this a few minutes ago, so yeah, the weather's been quite bad, just like this for about 4 days now, which is kind of sad, but whatever. Oh, 4 people. Hello. So again, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing okay, and that your lives are going well, because mine certainly is, depending on which part you mean of it. And I'm assuming you're here to either hear me talk or see my clocks. So regarding that, I have some news. I bought a new clock recently. I think it's been almost a week since I got it. It's really cool, and I wonder if I should show it to you or not. It's currently like in the testing phase. I already dismantled it, cleaned it, re-oiled it, and it's now assembled into the case with the dial off. It does run, sort of, and I'll still have to do some adjustments to it, but it goes better than I expected, since usually when I dismantle a clock and then I put it back together, something has to go wrong. I have no idea what it is. It depends on the case, and something has to happen. It's as if somebody is playing a very stupid prank on me whenever I try to work on something. So I don't know if there will be like 5 people here on the stream, since there's currently 3 from what I can see. I'm going to show it to you. You're definitely going to hear it since it's here with me. It's just hidden away from the view. So it's gonna chime in about 5 minutes, whenever the time reaches 6:45. And yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. I didn't expect to get it. It was a spontaneous acquisition, and I consider myself quite lucky to find it. I had no idea these exist within the radius of my country, let alone in my surroundings, like in my neighborhood. It was in a neighboring county, which is like next to mine. And I was quite surprised to find it in there. But anyways, so you guys don't seem to be saying anything for some reason. But oh well. I hope I didn't turn off the chat or something. That would be so stupid. From what I remember, I did turn on the chat, but I don't know. If there's like some of you chatting in there and oh my god, you are chatting. Holy crap, of course. Okay, now I can finally see the chat. Holy crap. So sorry that I have to that I had to restart like this little thingy. Can you still like hear me and stuff? I have no idea what happened in there. Like what the sorry, I was about to say something nasty. What the heck? I mean, first time there has to be a problem with the translation, and now I couldn't see the messages. So I don't even want to know what happened to that. So okay, now I can see your messages, and holy crap, you've been chatting for a while. Okay, now it works. So I see that JJ is here and Clox07. Hi JJ and Clox07. Glad that you're here. I'm very sorry that I didn't notice you before, but I don't know what's wrong with my chat. I have no idea. Something just has to go wrong. Hello, hello. Yeah, it's 11 a for me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm here to chill. Yeah, my internet is so bad. Oh my god, it was a hailstorm yesterday where I am. Dang. I'm doing fine, thanks. You? I'm doing okay. Question though, is the electric vedette run by plugged into the wall? Yeah, the electro vedette is not running on electricity right now. It's like it's running on on its mainsprings. I suppose I can't. How should I put this? So this clock is currently running. Wait, let me reformulate. This clock is currently wound manually through this hole, which you can see right there. Like there's a hole in there. It was made by a previous owner of this clock. It leads to a single winding arbor, which luckily on this movement was on the front side. Some of them have them on the back, and some of them don't have them at all. So that was insanely lucky, because having to take the movement out to wind the clock every 12 hours or so when I do that is rather inconvenient. But because I will question how the electric French clocks are. Okay, so these electrovedette clocks, I can tell you how they run if you're interested. Mine has the continuous synchronous motor thingy in it, which is a little different from like the second variation of the. So how do I put this? They had two different movements. One of them only ran on alternative current, and the other one ran on both direct and or continuous current. I don't know what to call it, and alternative. I'll let it chime for now. Oh, and there's another clock chiming right now, the one I mentioned a few minutes ago. Hello. Okay, now back to this. So anyways, the way this works is this clock has the AC motor movement, the one that only runs on alternative current. And what it basically does is it has a pedal. The motor has a pedal, and there's a system of gears mounted onto the mainspring arbor, and sort of the gears sort of screw in. Yeah, I'll show that in a bit. And I think you were there when I told you how I got it. I'll get into detail again when I finish with this. So basically, the mainspring arbor has screw threads in it. That's only the case of the time side mainspring, since that's what the winding system relies on. It needs to keep the clock wound. The chime and strike work. I don't know. Oh crap! I don't know how to explain this, and I feel so stupid. Oh my god. Okay. And basically, whenever this clock is wound to a certain point, like the gear which stays onto the mainspring arbor that has screw threads on it, like unscrews and pushes that pedal so that the motor stops. And whenever the clock is low on power, the pedal is released and the motor just runs continuously. Um, just like runs continuously and winds the clock. It winds all three mainsprings at the same time, and that's why it has a single winding arbor, because it's connected to a single ratchet wheel and click system that gets all the power from the mainsprings. And that's not the best way, I'd say, in which they could have engineered this, given that all the wheels that like work like the winding transmission mechanism between all three mainsprings have the teeth so worn that I'd say that in about like 30 years of continuous running, they will eventually like disintegrate and break and stuff. So it will have to get a whole new set of winding transmission gears, which is very unfortunate. And there's also the second. Oh, I got kicked for the stream for some reason. What the heck? Oh, I'm sorry. So I assume you weren't here when I explained like what was going on with this. Am I correct? Oh crap. Oh my god, I hate YouTube so much. Whatever. So yeah, just to like round it up on this movement, it has a pedal on the motor which like is pushed onto the no. I can't speak. I'm on a wait, no, I can say that. Uh, yeah, this thing has a pedal, and whenever the clock is fully wound, the pedal stops the motor from running, and when it's low on power, it is released, and like the motor runs continuously to wind all three mainsprings. It has a stupid winding transmission mechanism with extremely worn gears, and in the near future, it's probably going to need a whole new set of those, since the teeth are going to just disintegrate. And yeah, that's it. And that's why it has a single winding arbor, since it has a single ratchet wheel and click that takes all the power from the three mainsprings. They are relatively small though, and when this clock was new, it was supposed to like work for about 40 hours without any electricity. But since the time spring has been shortened because the spring broke on me on the first day I got it, I had to like repair it. And as I said, I think I said that the time spring was shortened, and it now runs for about 17 hours. I am afraid to wind it any further than that because yeah, you know what happened. And who's here now? Hi, old clocks channel. Haven't seen you yet. Pooh, haven't seen you in a while. Oh my god, haven't heard from you in a long time. And yeah, I'm glad you're here. And Clocks 07, there's the second variation of the movement in this thing, which has the chunkier AC/DC motor. That thing runs a little differently. I have no idea how to explain that, but there's a video made especially on these on Phalus's channel. You can just search like Electrovedette and you're going to find it. It has the thumbnail of one of these movements like viewed from the back. You may find it, and he explains it way better in there. And he also has a link to some original like manufacturers' labels, which actually showed all the movements and the specs that they had back then. And they all run on either 110 or 220 volts, depending on what the buyer of the clock wanted back then. I am not sure on how much this one runs because it was supposed to have a plaque mounted like just down there on the bottom board that said the voltage, the model of the clock, and I think also the year of manufacturing. But that thing's missing and I don't have it, so until I'll actually test this thing, I'll just assume that it runs on 110 volts. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I do have one. I have an MF, but it has some problems. It does run, but it has one certain problem which I'm annoyed at. But hopefully you'll get one. I mean, they are out there. They are pretty rare, but it's not impossible to get them. Like, the past 3 years of clock collecting, in like personally, have shown me that anything is possible with these clocks. You can find the most interesting stuff ever, like in the most random spaces where you didn't think even existed or made it to there. And let me go back to the chat because I have almost 10 new clocks now. Nice! That's very nice. I am very curious of what they are. I assume most of them are cuckoo clocks, since I know you're pretty interested into those, but I might be wrong, I don't know. I have no space anymore, same. I'm running out of room so fast that I don't know what I'm going to do. Nope. Okay, they're not cuckoo clocks. Interesting. Okay, and since, however, I did get a French clock for my 19 sub special. Oh, I do not know which clock it is, which I'm curious. I'll have to check like your channel after I finish the stream, because I'm very curious. I have a Westminster Hermle. Cool. Oh my god, I have no room. I'm so cooked. Yeah, I know, you have literal stuff on the floor now. I also have stuff on the floor, but it's not as bad as your case, I assume, like from what I remember from your stream. It was it was the definition of I have no room. I don't know, somebody should invent like gravity inverters so that I can hang clocks on my ceiling or something, I don't know. That would be very practical right now. And since there's 6 people in here now, and I said that whenever we reach 5 people in here, I'm going to show you my new clock. Here it is. Boom. This is another vedette. And as some of you heard just now, like about 10 minutes ago, this is a dual chime. It's a vedette dual chime that plays Westminster and Frère Jacques. Or like, I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, I pronounce it Frère Jacques. Brother John, James, or whatever name you have in there, like in your language, I don't know. I've seen the chime like being referred to as both Brother James and Brother John, but I'd say it's Brother Jacob. And I have no idea what the exact name of it in English is. I just call it Frère Jacques. It has 10 rods, as you know, 4 for the strike and 6 for the chimes. And I have just finished servicing it yesterday. I worked on it really hard for the past 3 days or so. It was completely paralyzed. Like, the dried oil was so badly put in there that at full power, this clock wouldn't show any signs of life. Like, even on the chime side, with that big ass mainspring, it was fully wound, it was dead. And the funniest thing was on the time side. Like, I wound it up, and I tried to run it. I couldn't hear a single tick from it. I took the pallets off, and at full power, the escape wheel didn't move an inch. So it was horrible. And I found some very stupidly placed oil on the back of the vedette trademark, because I don't know if you're familiar with vedette movements, but instead of having a stamped trademark, they have a separate plaque which is screwed onto the back of the movement, and I found oil, fresh new oil on the back of that thing. I don't know what good it does to the clock to have dried oil in general in there, but I see that this practice of putting oil on the back of the trademark is very popular amongst clockmakers of the past, and I have no idea why they did that. Like, I found oil in the stupidest of all places on this clock. Like, even on this arbor that you see where the chime count wheel is, I found oil on that arbor. And I mean, this wheel is supposed to be seized solid in there. And I don't know what the heck that's supposed to do to the clock. It's not a good practice to do that. Hey guys, hi Kansas. Glad you're here. Yeah, I don't know, mate. I have no idea what was in the head of the dude that last serviced this, like, I don't know, 50 years ago or something. It was so bad. I know it's not the Silent Found Quail Cuckoo Clock, but it's 200 euros. Yeah, that's a fair price. Like, I've seen a fair. Depends on the clock, actually. Most of the clocks that I saw, like Cuckoo Quail clocks in my area, were at least 300 euros plus, and that's stupid. But I luckily got mine for about 80. And that's, oh, it's a GHS. Yeah, then it's reasonably fair, I'd say. A GHS. If it's in good shape, then yes, definitely. But people need to start putting their brains back in their skulls when oiling, when oiling the trademark. Yes, I have no idea what the heck was going on with that dude. I mean, they were like, okay, instruction manual for clockmakers. 1, oil the movement. Didn't specify what to oil, just oil the movement. uh, I assume it was like one of these moments, just to be sure. Just to be sure, I'll put a tiny little bit of oil on the back of the trademark, see if it does anything good. Oh, hi, Jen's clocks. Just to leave everything, it will be fine. It will be fine, they said. It won't seize the clock solid, they said. Alright, whatever. Luka, what's with the Badoof mantle clock? It's the next on my list. It's completely dismantled. The orange cat. Hello! About the Badoof, I am going to start working on it probably tomorrow, and I'll have to finish it as soon as possible because on Thursday I'm leaving and I am going for a week to Italy to visit some stuff in there. Perhaps I'll record some bell towers or some tower clocks, since I know I'm going to Verona, and in Verona there's a specific clock tower which I want to see, and it looks pretty nice. And I'll record it for you. I'll wait for the noon chimes, I guess, if I have the opportunity. And this clock is about to trigger now. You can see it's getting pretty close. And for this I'm going to silence my vedette, because I want the other vedette, I want you to hear this clock in all its glory. For now. Okay. If you're wondering what I did now, the other like silencer for the chime side is not working properly, so I had to put some counterweight on it. Okay, and now we'll wait for this one. Any second now. And I'm hoping that the stream won't break while it chimes. Any second now. Come on. And that was it. So yeah, the chime hammers still need to be adjusted in some of the places, especially this note right here. I hate this one so much. It's this second note. All the others sound fine, it's just that one that makes problems. And the strike is also a little clattery, or not clattery, it's a little flat. And I'll try to do something about that. But It's the Frère Jacques chimes, so I can't complain about that. And now let me unsilence this one, since I want to hear it. Okay, and take this thing out. Okay. Let's see if it's okay. Okay, so every time I unsilence this, I have to check if the silencer is still working. Because sometimes the screw that holds it in place comes loose and the silencer hits the lowest rod and it just gets stuck in there and the clock won't sound properly. And now let me see what you guys have been up to in here. Wait, before that, here's the dial of the new Vedette. And for those of you who haven't seen it before, because I know some of you are in various Discord servers and have seen this before, this one was made in the early 30s. The chiming mechanism with the dual chime system was patented in 1930, and I'd say that this one was made between 1930 and 1932, since it's one of the earlier models, I'd say. It has the classic tuning that Vedette used, as well as the old dial font. Like this is their second dial font, I assume, that they used on their clocks, or I think it's the same as the first one, but on a smaller scale. And since it's Art Deco, it's definitely early 30s. But yeah, anyways, whatever. Let's see what you guys have been saying in here. So, starting from up there. Just oil it and put hopes and dreams in it, lol. Yeah, definitely. Hopes and Dreams. One of the best tracks in Undertale, Hopes and Dreams. OMG, the turret clock I'm repairing is so grimy and it's literally stained so many of my oh my god, I'm sorry. I am sorry. That thing is probably hella dirty, since it's set in a church tower, most likely. And usually church towers aren't the cleanest places in the world, but it happens, I guess. Oh yes, beautiful. You guys like it. I'm glad. Very, very nice clock. Do you have more new clocks or just this one? So I assume you weren't on my previous streams, so yes, I have a few new clocks which you, like Old Clocks channel, you haven't seen before, probably. I'll just show them to you and then you tell me if you've seen them or not. If you've seen them or not. Gotta go later. Bye, Clocks07. That's probably my favorite dial Vedette used. Wow. Well, nice to hear that. I don't know how to answer to that properly since I am socially awkward. My favorite one is the one on that Vedette in there, particularly the square variant. I find the octagonal variant to be a little weird. Like, I don't know, it feels very tight. And this square one, I like it way better. And there's also the rectangular variant, which I find to be quite big. But yeah, anyways. Now I'm gonna go show Old Clocks channel some new clocks which I have. Yeah, sadly they are stored on the floor. Okay. Here's one of them. This is a huge Johannes Freischwinger, which plays the Westminster chimes. I know some of you remember seeing it in all its glory on the wall, happily working, but now this thing has to be stored in here for a while until I'll drill a new hole in my top hallway and put a new nail in there and hang this one in there. It's gonna be on display in my hallway since it's very imposing. It's, as I said, 1 meter tall. Wait, is it? Oh my god, it started again. Okay, so yeah, this clock really wants to run. And I have to find a way of locking it in there. Like, I need to stop it, because if it's gonna run, it's gonna mess up the chime sequence and all that. And the other new thing is hidden in here somewhere. It's this one. It's a Metron made in Poland in 1966 in January. And it is going, but it's hella dirty, and this one is on the list too. It's gonna be dismantled and cleaned. And besides that, everything is the same. There's this one in there, and all the other things. Oh, and there's also this one. I don't think you've seen this one, or maybe you have seen it. A 1937 small Johanns. It sounds very, very nice. And if you're wondering why it's here and the motor is now there, this clock was temporarily moved in here because this is where the vedette, the dual chime vedette, is gonna hang. So during daytime, this one stays in here, and during nighttime, I bring the vedette in here and bring this one to my room because I want to keep the vedette in testing for a while. And when day arrives again in the morning, I switch them again and again and again and again. And yeah, that's what I do. It's my workout basically, even though they're not that heavy. And yeah, maybe you guys want to see something in here, or you want to hear a clock perhaps. I'll just demo it for you. Okay. Hi, it's me, Roblox. Hello, Roblox. I haven't seen previously. Okay, maybe put a bit of tissue paper. I know what you mean. I could do that, but what I do is basically I jam the crutch into the, like, what's it called, the highest note of the Westminster chimes, like the highest chime rod, because it has some space in there and I can just squeeze it in, and it doesn't damage the chime rods or anything. It's just friction in there so that it doesn't move the crutch. Okay, maybe okay. No, you got Metron. Yeah, I got Metron. Oh yes, the Metron. I want one. Yes, Metron. Yeah, I was hoping to get one of the earlier ones from the early or late 50s, since those have normal movements in them. Mine is, as I said, from 1966, and it has a movement from the time when communism really kicked in there. And you can see the places from where they cut click springs, ratchet wheels, the pallet bridge and stuff on the front plate, and it doesn't look as nice as their earlier movements, which have normal cutouts in them. And I'm sorry that I'm just blabbering a lot in here, and I can't speak properly. I know it's annoying. Okay. Show us the Beha. The Beha is here. It's doing great. I don't have the weights on because they're too heavy, and they are basically pulling the case apart. The top is detaching from the rest of the case, and that's not okay. I have this weight. Wait, 1 sec. I'll take this one from the Girod and hope it won't fall on its front. And I'll hang it here. I think this is the chime side, the cuckoo side, as I might say, and I'll let you hear it. It does run. It also needs a clean, and the low note bellow is, I think it has a factory defect. It doesn't sound properly. Yeah. So this is my late Beha. It's a very late one, from, I'd say, around 1920 or 1930. And I'm gonna put this back on the Girod. Yeah, I have weights on the back of my French clocks in here because I'm afraid they're just gonna lean forward and fall on their front. I wanna hear the 1913 Junghans because I love that thing to death, lol. Same. I just realized these days. Oh. Hi. I just realized these days how cool this clock is and how great of a resonance it has and how good it looks. So yeah, I'm keeping it. Even though I wasn't planning to sell it, I just love this thing. And now I'll trigger it. So yeah, this clock easily beats both my vedettes when it comes to resonance and note sustainment. It's just so awesome. And it's from 1913. That Beha is amazing. I really want one of the musical mental clock Behas. Yeah, same. I wish I had one of these. I found some really pretty ones on YouTube as well because, of course, sorry, not as well, since that's where you find them normally, or on action sites or auction sites. Holy crap, what is wrong with me? And they are pretty cool. I don't know, I was thinking that my first Beha, if I were to get one ever, would be a 512, since the Beha or the Beha 512 is the most common of them all, from what I've seen. It's like a mantelpiece cuckoo clock, and this one is, I think it's model number 80. It has various numbers scrambled on it. It says number 52 on the backboard, but every piece of the wood and of the movement inside it is labeled as 80. So I assume it's actually a model 80, since I cannot find any catalogs or reference to see what model this clock exactly is, since it's, as I said, it's a late one. Love that hour strike. I'm glad you do. Even though it's one single rod. It's one single little rod in there that does all the work for the strike. Oh, okay. I'm gonna sit in here for a while. Yeah, it looks a little weird in this position. I'm planning to try and move the little Junghans like that one somewhere and put that Junghans in there. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that though. I want to try to squeeze in as many clocks as possible on this wall, because I'm really running out of space and I don't know what to do. I could also like try to fit a longer bottom board on this clock so that I can have it sitting on the floor, just like the rest of them in here. And then we'll see what's gonna happen. I was also planning to try and fit some clocks on this wall, but this thing, if you don't know already, it's cardboard. And it has a metal frame behind it, so I could perhaps fit some nails or screws or whatever into that metal frame and hang one or two clocks on this side. But that's gonna have to wait for a bit, since I have other projects at the moment to take care of. Honestly, unpopular opinion, but I prefer single rod hour strikers, lol. I get you. There's like two clocks on which I prefer the single rod or single note strike. At this moment, there's only two of them on which I like that strike better, excluding this one. This one is fine as it is. The other two are my Kinsley Westminster mantle clock and the Kinsley Westminster box clocks from the 1910s. Those that have the double rod strike but with a single note basically. Those are so good. They are just perfect. The pitch of the Westminster chime is the most amazing thing that I have ever heard in my entire life. My Kinsley continues to amaze me. It's usually accurate to the second. Great. That's great to hear. Wait, I'm assuming it has a recoil escapement. I'm probably biased because my Maute has a single note hour strike and I love it. Yeah, probably. I don't know. And also like wait no, 5 gongs actually have a 2-note hour strike, since a coiled gong emits 2 notes. I believe so. Yeah, my Kinsley also has what's it called? I forgot. That beats recoil escapement. Holy crap. I don't think any German box clock has a deadbeat escapement. Wrong. LFS clocks do have that, like Westminster. Oh, bye, old clocks channel. Bye bye. And I'm sorry if I were like rude or anything. LFS clocks, from what I know, Westminster chimers have deadbeat escapements, as well as Landskirch Westminster chimers have deadbeat escapements, from what I remember. But those are from another league. Those two are special in their own right, so it makes sense for them to have deadbeat escapements. And let me think of another. Maybe there's other ones which I forgot about. Some Gustav Beckers also have deadbeat escapements. A specific Westminster movement from them has a deadbeat escapement. I don't think Johannes made deadbeat escapement movements on box clocks, that is, since the W200 does use Graham's deadbeat. Gotta get my hands on one of those, lol. I thought deadbeat escapement were just using the regulators. Oh. Oh wait, you have a Landskirch Westminster. Damn, I didn't know you had one of these. Like, I'm 90% sure they have a deadbeat escapement. That's what they usually used into these, since Landskirch was like the Rolls Royce of mechanical clocks back then. They were super duper top quality. I don't know if they still were like that in the 20s when they made Westminster clocks, but yeah, the French used deadbeat escapements in their clocks quite frequently. I've got an LFS Westminster. I think, but I've got to double check if it's an LFS. Fairly certain it is. Probably. There's a Jappy branded LFS Westminster box clock in a local clock shop currently. Cool. I'm got to dig around in the storage. All right. I'm very curious about that clock, like the Jappy Frere renamed LFS. I didn't know they made that. Sorry. I really didn't think it would be so. I know some French manufacturers bought movements during certain periods of their existence. What the heck? Oh, I was scared that this thing was bent. Sorry. It was an optical illusion. Like Odo did in the 40s. They bought some movements from Junghans, or entire clocks actually from Junghans. There's a couple of these for sale on one of my researching sites, so to say, the one I buy my clocks from. And yeah, there are rebranded Junghans clocks as Odo. I didn't know that LS also exported movements, or actually entire clocks, to France. I don't know. When it comes to this. What I do know is that the French love to use, or loved using, I don't know what's correct, Broco escapements on their clocks, since I have two of them in here. That one and that one, both made by Giraud. And the FFR, I believe, also used Broco escapements, as well as Odo in some parts of their existence. I don't think they constantly use that, but yeah, there's also the round, like the round French movements with Broco escapements. It was their invention, so I guess. I'm still glad that Vedette decided to stick to the normal Graham's Vienna deadbeat escapement, since I find that thing way better. The Vienna deadbeat escapement is God's gift. Honestly, I love it so much. Vienna deadbeat escapements. Wait, I wonder how many clocks with that escapement I have. I have, like, specifically a Vienna deadbeat escapement. Because there's also the semi-deadbeat or the simplified Graham's dead escapement, which some American clocks use, as well as that thing, which is a Polaris. And Let me see how many of them actually have an actual Vienna deadbeat escapement. Okay, enough rambling. So on this wall right here, there is none of them. Or actually, there is. That one does use a deadbeat escapement. These do not have that. Neither does that, nor that. That one has a recoil. Let me go in the back here. We have this one. This one uses a deadbeat escapement. This one also uses the deadbeat escapement, despite popular beliefs, I guess. They actually use deadbeat escapements all the way. Metron used that. That one surprisingly has a Graham's deadbeat escapement. That one has a deadbeat escapement. That's a recoil. No, that also has a simplified deadbeat. Okay, so we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with the one in there. Okay, so we have 5 in this room. Okay. And then we have 6, 7, 8 in here. And then there is my Karl Werner, which is downstairs, that also has a deadbeat escapement. So we have 9. And that should be it. I have 9 clocks with deadbeat escapement. Why am I glazing the deadbeat escapement? What the heck? I just love it so much, but it's stupid. And what are you guys saying? My favorite variation of the deadbeat is the pinwheel escapement. Nice. Yeah, that thing was most frequently used in tower clocks. I assume that's like from that's the most common thing you see in a tower clock, at least in the ones made in France, since I think they also like patented this thing for some reason. There's also some comptoirs or jewelers regulators that have pinwheel escapements in them. Whatever. And the grasshopper escapement for the win. Yeah, the grasshopper escapement is very, very clever and pretty nice to look at. And it's also very practical since you can do it yourself. Much easier than a deadbeat or a recoil, since you actually have to use mathematics in that thing. Well, not really, but you also have to use your brain in the making of a grasshopper escapement. But I think it's easier than the other two to make the pallets and stuff. And yeah. Pinwheels are somewhat common, but not as common as generic deadbeat. Ah, I see. Yeah, the deadbeat escapement. I don't think I've seen a tower clock with a recoil escapement. Oh wait, actually I've seen those, but they're like 17th century things from Germany that were adapted to use Germany and the Czech Republic that were adapted to use the recoil escapement, since they initially had what do they call it, a verge escapement, but with with that thing, a foliot. Yeah, a foliot that swings like this. Recoil is usually 18th or 17th century tower clocks. Yeah, sometimes 19th century. Yes, there's one specific tower clock movement in my country, in Herman. It's a little village in Transylvania that has a 19th century. It's I believe it's an 1812 tower clock movement, which has a recoil escapement in it. I just remembered. I've seen that thing. It was dismantled when I got there, since the dudes that took care of the church, which it was in, were restoring it. And we're going to put it on display, since the clock now has an electric movement in there. And it's quite interesting to look at the history of that clock. I mean, it currently has a generic modern day electric movement, but there's also a Burg master clock in the church, which I assume once like drove the tower clock, like the four faces. And then there's the old movement from 1812, which was severely damaged during a thunderstorm, because I assume you know how thunderstorms work, and it wasn't pretty cool. It wasn't cool at all, in fact. Virgin folios. Folio. Oh, so it's folio, not foliot. I was pretty sure it was foliot. Weird. I don't know. I just call it like in Romanian I call it balancier, because it swings, it balances like a balance wheel. It's balancier. I don't know. No, it's foliot, spelling error, lol. Oh, okay. Okay, it's fine, lol. It's all right. It's all good, mate. And the rain has stopped. Never mind, it hasn't stopped. Oopsie. It's still raining, but not as badly as before. It's better now. Oh, by the way, check this out. Wait, I want to show you something which I discovered out of pure boredom. No, wait. Oh my god, I can't get it right. And it's in the warning, so the low note hammer cannot be used. Oh my god, this is so stupid. I'll wait for it to chime and then I'll show you. You can actually play like Tommy's chime on this clock. It has the perfect rod set. You can play Tommy's chime on a Vedette Frère Jacques or on a basic Ave Maria, since it has the same rod set. 39 degrees Celsius sometimes. Oh my god, that's so bad. It's been like 90 Fahrenheit on average over here. I have no idea how much that is, but I assume it's a lot. I know 32 Fahrenheit is 0 Celsius, so it's probably a lot. Over here it's like 21 degrees Celsius, I assume. Or it was like 24 before the rain. There were like 24 degrees, but now I assume it got colder, maybe even under 20. Oh, 32 Celsius. Oh, that's still a lot, but it's more like bearable, I'd say. Okay, now that this one has chimed, I can actually do the damn thing now. This is a stupid thing. Oops. Oh my god. I am so I am so sick of this. Finally, there you had it, Thomas chime. On a Vedette Frère Jacques. The way the chime cylinder is made on this clock is pretty interesting. Like, you have multiple discs that are linked together with two pillars, and there's like nuts holding them together, so you can basically dismantle the whole cylinder and rebuild it, which is pretty cool. You can just and there's also like the discs I believe they are numbered, so you don't like reassemble it the wrong way. It's pretty cool. I find it very practical and interesting. The worst thing is the houses in the UK are meant to trap heat and I have no way of getting heat out. No AC anywhere. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh man. I know it's usually like colder in that like region and stuff since it's usually raining a lot and I believe it's also a little colder. From what I saw on the news a few days ago, like in June, um, like there were the highest temperatures ever registered or like measured in the UK in a lot of time, like 35 degrees Celsius in London or something, and it was so hot for you guys apparently. I like when I went to Spain last year, I walked in the like in the high noon, I believe it's called, uh through direct sunlight at 45 degrees Celsius and I was slowly melting. Yeah, highest temperatures like since 1973. Crazy. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna lay back for a bit since I'm tired. Global warming getting less whole. Yeah, slowly. Probably. Slowly. It's gonna eat us alive. But whatever. What would you guys like to see or talk about now? Like, do you have some other clocks you want to see? Like, I don't know, talk about something in particular? I need to think of what to do now. I'm not gonna be staying for like much longer since I have some stuff to do after this. But I'm still gonna be here for a little while. I'm doing a French slate clock with a cylinder movement for my neighbor, and it has like the worst issue ever. What is it? Is like the escapement broken or anything? I'm very curious because I know how it feels to break a cylinder escapement. And it's not the coolest feeling in the world, but it happens to the best of us. I guess, I don't know. Feels pretty bad though. I want to see your second Yantara wall clock. Okay, then I'm gonna go show it. Oh wait. Oh hi Davis. Like, do you mean the one with the reddish front? That one has been sold. If you mean that one. If there's another one of them, like you can describe it to me, I can show it to you. But the one with the reddish front and the octagonal dial has been sold last year. Sadly, I no longer have it. The horologist last time made some new teeth and sold. Oh no. Oh no, why didn't I cut the teeth with the right spacing in it? Oh my god, that's so bad. Oh, yes, thank you, previous repairs. They are awesome. For me, the worst issue is when somebody uses a stupid repair method for like mainsprings and stuff and they just end up breaking on me and I have to replace it. There's that stupid, it's called the swallow's tail repair method because you basically need to make a hole into one end of the mainspring. If this can only be used if the mainspring breaks in the middle, and not on one of... Okay, that was pretty darn loud. So lightning struck somewhere near me. I don't know if you saw that flash or not, but lightning just struck near my house. Okay, whatever. Um, I really don't want to experience whatever that tower clock from 1812 experienced. So, oh no, now I'm a little scared. But whatever. What I was saying. What was I saying actually? I forgot. Oh yeah, the stupid swallow's tail thing. So you have to drill a hole into one end of the mainspring and then trim the other end so that it has a sort of T shape, and insert the T shape through that hole, and then you can like tie it together some way. It's supposed to be locked in there, but some people just don't know that those T-shaped like thingies like from the mainspring can like just bend and get through the hole and break the mainspring again, or they can just like break essentially, and it's stupid and whatever. What you guys think? Not sure I said Slovenia. Koch Girod. On my end, I think I find got my Urgos timed in. Nice. I really love that thing. It looks very good, and it has the dream tuning. The whoopsie. The um the one and only Urgos tuning. So I have to cut a whole new set of teeth and with files and cut. Oh my god, that's so bad. Good luck, man. Good luck. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in Portland, OR. Cough, Girod. Yeah, exactly, Girod. It's not the first clock I've had that on. My Johan's tall-shaped clock also had that. My kitchen wall clock also had that, which is now broken. It's been broken for like 2 years or so. What else did I have that on? I've had that on a mantle clock that I sold a few years ago. You haven't, you didn't ever see it. It was some sort of Kininger thingy, a little thing which just like it was so stupid. It was like missing parts and stuff like that. I tried to like look for a spare movement since I thought that they were pretty easily accessible at that time, but apparently not. So yeah, whatever. Finally, typo on my part. It's okay. Sorry, I meant Romania. Seems like the storm has gotten to Slovenia. Yeah, Slovenia. I love Slovenia. It's a very nice country. It has very nice stuff in there, especially churches, lakes, like lake bled essentially, and yeah, mostly churches and clocks and stuff, like in church towers, whatever. I just did a little internship at the clockmakers and then learned how to make my own bushes and stuff from brass rod. Ooh, that is very nice. I'm glad that you now know how to do that. I have some knowledge of like fabricating certain parts for clocks, but I just don't have the tools and the time for that. If I could, I would just make parts for my clocks, and if I had, essentially, if I had the time and the tools, I would right away start filing new teeth for the escape wheel of my MF, since you might know that the escape wheel teeth on my MF are, half of them are either bent or shorter than the others, and that's how I got it. And even though the clock runs, it's stupid and it annoys me. This problem annoys me a lot. And for about 2 days, I also believed that this clock had the same problem, but apparently not. I think there's just 1 or 2 teeth that are slightly out of shape. I'm not sure. Also, again, not my fault. That's how I got it. I don't know how that happens. That's the issue that annoys me the most. Like broken teeth on wheels. They're just pretty annoying to deal with. And eat a lot of time and effort. Especially when I can't fix them. And I have to look for somebody to help me. Yeah, Slovenia is great. I visited there a couple of years ago. Yep, I know. I have seen, I believe you posted 2 shorts about that. Like one with a bell ringing and the other one with the actual clock movement from Lake Bled. Oh, hello. Just noticed you were streaming. I see you got the dead dual chime working. Yeah, hi, Alexander. Hello. Yes, I got it working. I've been working on it for about 3 days now. Yesterday evening, I cleaned the case and I put the movement in it, which I serviced 2 days ago, late at night. I literally went to sleep at 2 a.m. because I was working on this. And yeah, now it's in the testing phase. So I'll be waiting until tomorrow since today is Sunday and I do not work like on stuff because yeah, really religious reasons. And then I'll go ahead and adjust the chime hammers and eventually put the dial on. I'm also like thinking that I should oil this lever right here. Like you can see that end in there of the chime release lever or the chime count wheel lever, since I think it would help the clock whenever it tries to lift this thing to have a little bit of oil on that side so that it doesn't like scratch the chime count wheel too hard. But I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure whether I should do it or not. I've got to go for dinner. All right, that's fine. Have a nice meal. I guess I don't know what you say, how you say that in English, but I hope you'll enjoy your dinner. And I'm glad that you could stick around for a bit. So bye bye, JJ. See you later. I'll also be staying for like 15 minutes maximum since I have to go run some errands or basically just continue with my daily routine. Bye. Bye bye. And yeah, Alexander, you didn't miss much. I showed a bunch of clocks, talked about how good a deadbeat escapement is, and witnessed a lightning strike next to my house. It was so scary. I don't know, I probably sounded like a little kid or an idiot whenever that happened, but it gave me the chills. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Kansas, if you're still around, I remember that you said that you bought a mini HAC, like the small HAC with the small rods and stuff. Like do you, how's that thing doing? If you actually bought it or stuff like that. I can't speak properly. I feel awkward. Sorry. Yeah, just had a thunderstorm yesterday. Hmm. Yeah, there seems to be rain everywhere these days. It's doing really well. Glad to hear that. Glad to know that it's doing well. That one's about to go off in a couple of seconds. Again. Mm-hmm. I'll make a short of it when I'm home. Ah, alright, sure. Whenever you have the time for it. I was just curious to see how it's doing. Stuff like that. Since I want to interact with you guys and see what you are doing, since I am just a random streamer of YouTube who coincidentally has a clock collection. And I need to interact with my public in some way because I don't know what to do. I'm planning this summer, I'm planning to do a live clock fixing stream. I'm going to dismantle a clock and show you how I'm basically working on it. I'll try to find a stand for my phone in the meantime so that I can position it properly. And I'll have to see which clock I'm going to choose. I have a few which I'm gonna have to work on. It's gonna be one of the easier projects because I'm not sure how stuff will go if I show you how I actually clean my clocks, since maybe some of my my methods may not be agreed upon by the general public. And I think I'll just choose a clock which needs I don't know, some new oil, some pivots polished, or basically some adjustments. But it will be a live clock fixing stream, so why not? I think I'm gonna dismantle my Johans with the deep rods, since that thing basically needs some pivots polished and some new oil. It's clean and stuff, but there's some rust on some of the pivots and there's dried oil in it. And I'm very curious to see what working on a W200 is like, since I know some people told me that it's the most annoying thing in the entire world due to various reasons, especially because of the chime mechanism, since from what I know it's pretty stupid. But I don't know. I'm curious to see what they all meant when they said that. From what I saw, the W200 chime mechanism is pretty similar to one of a Vedette, though I think those on the Vedette, or a Vedette in general, are more repairer friendly. Since I don't know, I love Vedette movements so much. They're some of the most fun movements that I've ever worked on, like both of these. They are very clockmaker friendly, so to say, because I don't know, they're just easy to work on. You have a lot of space between the plates to fit your pliers or your fingers to move the wheels if they're not going into the pivot holes. You can easily remove the mainsprings if you need to change anything without like dismantling the whole clock movement. You can adjust the chime sequence from both the barrel and the chime count wheel. But the one problem which kind of annoys me with these clocks is that you have to time the striking while assembling the clock. You do not have like an adjustable star wheel or stuff like that. You have to mesh the star wheel with the gathering pallet properly while assembling the clock, and that kind of annoys me. But aside from that, they are great movements of very good quality. This is one of the very few movements which I consider that the French made better than the Germans. I'd love to see that stream. I never get around to it. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous when it comes to it, since maybe some of you guys will like accuse me of malpraxis, or I don't know if like if there is if this word exists in English, like malpraxis and stuff. But I assure you that my clocks get a really nice treatment, especially when they're having a bath. They are cleaned very nicely with dish detergent, since it's the best degreasing solution that I have, and it doesn't harm them in any way. Some of them tend to smell like lemon whenever I finish the cleaning and stuff, but no harm is done. Essentially, it's just it's a degreasing solution, so it helps me whenever I like need to take oil off or stuff like that. And hopefully in the future I'll just forget about hand cleaning and get an ultrasonic cleaner, and eventually find the proper solutions to dump my clocks in. Dunk or dump, I don't know. It would save me a lot of time getting an ultrasonic cleaner. Hopefully that will happen at some point. Silence. Complete silence. Do you also try to polish some of the metals of your clocks? Yes. I polish the pivot ends whenever I do that, because it's whenever I clean a clock, because it's better for them. I polish them adequately, so that when they rotate and stuff, they won't have resistance because of the way I polish them or anything. I also polish any parts that have rust on them. Like I basically use a kitchen sponge, like the hard part of a kitchen sponge, because it's a light It's essentially a very light sandpaper. And what I do is basically whenever I see a part that has rust on it, I first clean it with like the degreasing solution, and then I just polish it with that to get the surface rust out, since most of them only have surface rust, and that's all right. I also have some solutions for like completely getting rid of rust. I haven't used them in clocks yet because I'm not trusting them entirely, but that's what I do. And sometimes when the staining from old oil is really bad, I also polish plates, gears, or whatever has that thing on it. I don't do that on all clocks though. Like for example, I didn't do it on this one because I wanted to keep the finish of the plates in there, since usually when I do that, it's very hard to keep uh, the finish, the original manufacturer's finish in there, especially when the plates are mirrored clean, like they have that mirror texture. And what else do I polish? That's about it. I also like occasionally polish escapement pallets whenever there is grooves in them. Okay, and what are you guys saying? As nice as my Urgos is, the case is kind of stupid. I can't run for a full week because of it. Wow. Damn. That's kind of stupid. Where would you recommend going to get old vintage or antique clocks? Depends on where you are, because I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in Romania here where I live, the best place to get antique clocks for decent prices is basically websites like Facebook Marketplace or like OLX, which is the thing I use, because people have no idea what they're selling. Like this one, the dude thought it was a Westminster only, and I dead ass looked him in the eyes and said, "Man, you sure this is a Westminster only?" And he said yes. So, all right, man, if you think it's a Westminster only, then just give it to me here. I don't care. But when it comes to like actual stores or places, I don't know what it's like in other countries, like how antique stores work, or if there's designated spaces like clock shops for them. Some countries do have that, some of them don't. For example, my country only has one of these that I know of, which is not like a place in which you only go to fix clocks, but one that actually sells them. But essentially, if you have an antique store in your town or wherever there is, there's a high chance to find some clocks in there. I don't know. Whenever I try to search for clocks and stuff, I just said I look on websites or I go to the most random antique store that I can find, since you never know where we're going to find these. They're just scattered around in various places, and I don't know. Clock collecting is RNG based, as some gamers would say. It's basically it relies on luck mostly. And being in the right place at the right time and having the right amount of money. That's how I see it, at least. Steel wool works pretty well for dealing with lightly rusted parts, but it might scratch it a bit. Perhaps you can experiment with. Yeah, sure. I could do that if I find a very rusty clock. Or I can wait. Actually, I can try that on my Badoof, because I'm tomorrow. I'll try to work on it a little bit, and that thing is hella dirty. Like the plates are completely dark, and I could try that. I'll see if I have some steel wool and test it out. See if that will work. Plus, not having a top door, having take the hood off. No way that thing doesn't have a top door. Oh my gosh, you have to take the entire hood off just to set the time. Okay, now I see what you mean. That's so stupid. What? I don't think the guy who made the case knew that hoods usually have a front door mounted to them. Even English long case clocks from the 19th century and stuff like that, which have removable hoods, have a front door. Oh man. Okay, that's pretty bad. Sorry. Takes a lot of effort to get the time right on your clock. So that's why getting it down to the second, like uh, accuracy wise, like I don't know, is essential. So that you won't have to take the hood off. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh my god. The hood is supposed to hinge upwards, but it's been taken off the. Wow. Even the thing with the hood hinging upwards is pretty stupid. You need to have a lot of space behind the clock to do that. And if you have the clock flat against the wall, you'd have to take the entire clock, like pull it towards you, and then open the thing enough to have you can just slightly open it, but essentially you need to have enough room to do that. Wow. People have some crazy ideas sometimes whenever working on clocks. I haven't had any homemade clocks yet, other aside from clocks that I made myself, like cases or stuff like that. There's one clock which I made myself. I bought an FMS movement many years ago and made a panel for it, a wood panel on which I fixed the gong mounting, which had the movement bracket, and then I fitted it in there, and it didn't run because I didn't have the correct pendulum for it. And it turned out that I bought an FMS spring-driven Vienna regulator movement, and I didn't know that. I was using various pendulums from other clocks that I had at the time, and none of them worked. I even tried the pendulum of my Chinese long case clock, and it still didn't work. But now I know that it needs an 80 centimeter long pendulum. I still have that movement, but it needs some work. Yeah, it appears to be 8 o'clock, which means that it's high time I left. Yeah. Have you guys been seeing anything else? It appears not. So, I think I'll have to end the stream here because I gotta go and carry on with my daily routine. I have to go, like, take a shower and stuff, and then eventually. I know it's pretty early, but I just wanna get some rest. I haven't slept much in a while since I've had various activities during nighttime. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that you guys were able to stick around for for about 1 hour and a half while I streamed and stuff, even though I had to restart it again because of stupid chat problems with random translations and the messages not showing up and all stuff, all sorts of problems. But still, I'm glad that you were here and that you joined me on this random July evening. And I hope to see you guys in the near future again, since I'm planning to record some videos. At least one video will be made until I leave on Thursday, which is probably gonna be about that clock, but we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching or sticking around with me, and I'll see you in a few days, I guess. Have a great night, evening, day, whatever time it is in your time zone, and I was Luka. Bye bye. Take care.